In February 2016, Flynn joined Donald Trump's presidential campaign as an advisor on national security issues, quickly becoming a prominent figure.
The time is now to recognize our obligation that we have to the world, an obligation to lead the world with unwavering integrity, renewed strength, and unapologetic resolve. And with Donald Trump in the White House, we will make America great again.
How did you end up becoming a Trump guy? You know, you're a Democrat at the time. I mean, What was it that made you believe in Trump?
Initially, I had an outreach because I had been against the Iran nuclear deal.
Things that Obama did, I mean, somebody should have investigated them. I mean, like giving Iran cash. You only give somebody cash if they want to do something illegal. Why would the country that's the biggest sponsor of terrorism ask for cash, Barack? Because they want to give the money to terrorists. That's why.
The incredibly poor judgment on behalf of this administration with everything surrounding the Iranian nuclear deal, a deal that, you know, anybody that's, you know, that can see straight knows that this was a really bad deal. So that caught the attention of Trump. I got a call. I go down to see Trump. The big discussion was about the endless wars that we're involved in. And I talked to him about how do we end wars? How do we fight for peace instead of starting wars and fighting endless wars, right? And like I tell people, I'm not anti-war, I'm anti-stupid war.
Donald Trump wins the presidency. The business tycoon and TV personality capping his improbable political journey with an astounding upset victory. Donald J. Trump will become the 45th president of the United States, defeated.
When Trump won in November 2016, he announced Flynn as his pick for National Security Advisor.
Two senior Trump transition officials confirm that Lieutenant General Michael Flynn has accepted the offer to be National Security Advisor.
I stepped into the world, the ugly world of politics, and now I'm looking at becoming the National Security Advisor to the United States of America. That's a humongous position of authority.
Unbeknownst to Flynn, he was already a target of the FBI's controversial Crossfire Hurricane investigation under the code name Crossfire Razor. The FBI intended to uncover collusion between the Trump team and Russia.
So before the November 2020 election, the lead agent for Crossfire Hurricane, his last name is Barnett, Agent Barnett, very senior agent. He was questioned, and almost verbatim, he said, the whole effort of Crossfire Hurricane was get Flynn to get Trump. They knew my relationship with Trump was very close. They knew that I knew a lot about the intelligence community and a lot about the things that were in play. They knew that they had nothing on me, so nobody owned me, and I was a general.
When President-elect Trump went down to D.C. with Flynn and with Kushner, President Trump came back, he and I had a conversation. They said, Obama said two things to him. Number one, your problem's gonna be North Korea. That's your problem. And I go, no, he meant the Chinese Communist Party because North Korea is a vassal state. He goes, no, he didn't say anything about that. It's just North Korea. So it shows you the lack, not just the sophistication, but the misdirection play right off the bat. Because they're all making money. Biden and these guys are all making money in China. Number two, he just told Trump to his face, whatever you do, I'm just giving you a warning, I'm giving you a recommendation, do what you want with it, don't hire Flynn.
Mr. Obama cautioned that the new president would be wise to stay away. Trump aides say he was suspicious of Mr. Obama's motives in coming forward.
The president tweeted, General Flynn was given the highest security clearance by the Obama administration, but the fake news seldom likes talking about that.
Why didn't he suspend General Flynn's security clearance, which they had just reapproved months earlier?
Okay, so election's over, Trump's gonna be the next president. Breaking news of Russians inside the United States spying. And this is where the whole issue of sanctions and expulsions and all this stuff comes up.
I am sitting in Mar-a-Lago, and we're working, and there's a TV like right over there, and it's CNN, and I see a chyron that says the biggest raid or throwing out of Russian diplomats and officials in the history of the country. And I go, what? Because I was in the Pentagon as a junior officer in the hardest days of the Cold War, 81, 82, and 83, where you actually had some miscommunications. And I mean, but we were at each other's throats. President Reagan had a plan to take down the evil empire. And we never threw out 35 Russians at that time. And at that time, we're about as close to going to war as you possibly could without actually a conflict happening.
The issue of the Obama administration expelling people that were supposed spies and then sanctioning Russia, all that was being done like 3 weeks prior to a new administration coming into office. So those things were done to basically screw the relationship between the United States of America and Russia, to put the blame on Trump.
In response to the outgoing Obama administration expelling Russian diplomats and increasing sanctions on Russia, General Flynn, as incoming National Security Advisor, reached out to the Russian ambassador to the U.S. This conversation was fictionalized in the 2020 TV miniseries, The Comey Rule.
Yes, I saw it. I'm as upset as you are.
I doubt that. Sanctions strangle my country, not yours.
I understand, Mr. Ambassador.
Expelling 35 diplomats, closing 2 of our properties, financial hardship. Mr. Putin, my president, viewed this as unwarranted attacks on his people and a personal insult.
I understand, but please, tell him not to react, all right? The president-elect and I do not support the Obama sanctions. Just let us get in there. We'll fix this.
At the time of the call, General Flynn was being surveilled by the FBI's counterintelligence investigation, Crossfire Razor. A few days later, the lead agent recommended the investigation be shut down.
I'm not a Boy Scout, but you know, I'm gonna take care of my shit, right? I'm always good about staying out of trouble. So they couldn't find an unpaid parking ticket.
And there's no there. A trained counterintelligence agent, very respected, comes to that conclusion, and the FBI is in the process of going through the shutdown paperwork when the White House intervenes. Obama personally has a meeting with Joe Biden at the meeting with top people, and he's being told they're going to shut down the Mike Flynn investigation. And then there's a conversation about how can we not shut it down?
According to FBI lawyer Lisa Page's text messages to her lover, FBI agent Peter Strzok, Obama wanted to know all the details of the FBI Crossfire hurricane investigation since at least September. On January 4th, Agent Strzok stopped the closing of Crossfire Razor because the FBI 7th floor leadership had decided to get involved. The following day, Obama held a meeting with his top directors of intelligence. Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates was surprised to learn that Obama had already been briefed on the Flynn-Kislak phone call. At that January 5th White House meeting, it was suggested by Vice President Joe Biden that General Flynn had violated the Logan Act, an obscure law from 1799 which vaguely states, any citizen of the United States, wherever he may be, who, without authority of the United States, directly or indirectly commences or carries on any correspondence or intercourse with any foreign government or any office or agent thereof, with intent to influence the measures or conduct of any foreign government or any officer or agent thereof, in relation to any disputes or controversies with the United States, or to defeat the measures of the United States, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned.
Biden, the current president of the United States, Biden throws out this idea of the Logan Act. You know, only a guy that, as old as him would understand that there's a law as old as the Logan Act, right? I mean, it's just amazing. But so he raised it, but the bigger point was, we cannot have Flynn inside of this White House because we're in trouble if he stays there.
At that meeting, when asked if sensitive information about Russia should be withheld from Flynn, FBI Director Comey replied, potentially, leading Obama to want to have the right people on the investigation, according to FBI agent Strzok's notes.
When did presidents get into conversations about keeping something open or closed based on criminal investigation?
That would be considered obstruction if it was Trump.
It would be. And it's considered political weaponization in any definition of that we could use from the dictionary. The agent running the case has decided it should be shut down. It's about to be shut down, and how do they keep it open? We're just going to interview him. Well, what's our predicate for them? Don't worry about that. Just interview him.
Officials say Michael Flynn lied to the FBI. Here is the new reporting from the Washington Post that Flynn denied to FBI agents he discussed U.S. sanctions against Russia with that country's ambassador before President Trump took office contradicting the contents of intercepted communications collected by intelligence agencies.
Flynn was accused of lying to the FBI about this call in an interview arranged personally by then FBI Director James Comey.
You look at this White House now, and it's hard to imagine 2 FBI agents ending up in the same room. How did that happen?
I sent them. Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration.
It was a total setup. Mike Flynn didn't think anything of like, well, hang over a second. Maybe I have the White House counsel. Maybe you go through the White House counsel. Mike Flynn being a team player, and they came in to entrap him.
What they did to Flynn, he might as well be working for, the secret police in East Berlin. They trapped him into making a false statement to the FBI. But that's just a cheap crime. It's ridiculous. Because, first of all, it's not under oath. Second, there's no stenographer. So it's the FBI's version of what you said. They asked Flynn about a conversation with the Russian ambassador, and the details of what he said. And they had the transcript of it in their bag. They didn't need his testimony on it. They did it to see if he would contradict anything that they had hidden in the bag.
Couldn't you have said to them, national security, what does the FBI have to do with this? I mean, why would you even answer their questions?
Because they got nothing to hide.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.